Jugujo, La.
My name is Daniel Morales Leon.
Oh, my name is Kimberly, and
My name is Nancy.
Jose Manzano.
I think that that's my identity and that's my foundation. Our language is, I think, the biggest resource in precisely in my community is actually the way, I mean, languages tell you so much about a people's culture just by the words they use, how they describe things, how they use numbers, and I think it's fascinating, and I think I'm very honored I'm very grateful that I have that language, and I intend to preserve it and pass it on to my children.
It means that it opens up way more cultural doors for you because I know a couple of like Chicanos that speak Zapoteco and understand Zapoteco, and they have doors that are open to people like myself that don't speak Spanish. I mean, that don't speak Zapoteco, that are kind of closed off culturally. You know, it's like being part of the in circle. You know, so I think it's beautiful to be able to speak it, to understand it, and to have that part of your language. I come from the older school where it was like my mom specifically told my grandparents not to teach me Zapoteco, to only teach me Spanish, so that I wouldn't have the stigma of an Indian. I don't hold it against her because I don't think she knew that we were gonna move here to the States. So she just kind of had a Mexican upbringing for me in mind, and she wanted me to be born in the pueblo, kind of raised in the pueblo, but to grow up in the big cities, like Oaxaca City or Mexico City, and have a respectable profession, and not speak Zapoteco, just Spanish. So.
Okay, well, knowing how to speak the language, I think it means a lot to me because that was my form of communication with my grandma, and she would only, it was like basically her only language, so it like I have that connection. And then also like when I go back to the pueblo, it's nice talking to the people over there in that language. It's nice being able to have at least a small conversation with them. They'll talk to me in that language and I'll speak to them in like Spanish or something. It makes me feel good. I remember talking to this old lady. She was just having a conversation with me, like asking me my name, and like it was really nice. It was, yeah.
The language is important. Like that's why we're all here, to preserve our culture. But to try to help preserve our culture is very important, so we could know or identify who we are.
The fact that I'm native to this hemisphere, that I can trace back my lineage, and I know that there is that what would I say? I don't want to say full breed, but I can. I mean, I have a base. I can go back to. We speak our native language, and although it's been changed throughout the years and things like that, but I think we still preserve that in our ceremonies as well.
In general terms, we're all indigenous. You know, that whole conversation of everybody's from somewhere, so everybody's indigenous to something. But I mean, I guess in Mesoamerican terms, it's like somebody that was born in their land. They have a direct lineage.
I believe an indigenous person could probably be somebody who is going through their culture on a daily basis, going through it, like the religion, going to church, their services. My roots are Zapotec. I can't say I'm exactly Zapotec because I'm not literally from the Zapotec culture. I do like some of it, most of it, music, which I could embrace myself with the music, which would be it at the moment.
Yes, I think it's very important to go back, and actually I think it's important to go back and build a base there, you know, to always have that connection so your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren can have somewhere to go to. And I think that that's our obligation, at least me as a mother, is to guarantee that there will be that place for my children to return to and their children, and they will always have a place in their home. Because no matter where they're born, that'll always be their home. I mean, obviously I am not from there. I don't live there every day with them daily on a daily basis, but I think human issues are human issues regardless of where we're at. You know, and I think that I always try to lower my heart and in a sense of humbling yourself and just shut your mouth and, you know, listen to what they have to say and share it that way. And I think if I go with that approach, I don't think I don't feel like an outcast or an outsider, like, oh, I was raised in the North, even though I was born there, I'm coming back. But I just try to relate to the people on a human level, and I think when that happens, it's okay. I don't feel like an outcast or an outsider.
At home, really, like it's where I'm most comfortable because that's where I was brought up. So even though in my youth and in like my teen years, it was in Los Angeles, just like it's just like psychological like things that are stuck that are never gonna go away, like the smells, the scents, the horns honking, the buses, like just like all of that. Like,
it's really nice. It's very calm. There's nothing really to it. It's very relaxing place to be at.
Yes, it's a nice place to be. Well, I go to like, I guess be one with like the culture, like submerge myself in the culture, and see, because the traditions we have over here came from over there, but over there they're still different. Like we've changed them over here, but it's nice to go back and being able to see like how it is, how it was originally over there.
I do travel. I go to the Comunidad Oaxaca and also the city. And I try to go as often as possible. Why? Because it's beautiful out there. You know, it's not here. It's not gumbo. I'm not going through everything. Over there is everything. As a family, culture is everything more relaxed. Like I said, it's more relaxed. It's not like here. I thought it was important to connect or to go ahead and just have that feeling once again. You know, over here we're so, well, I mean myself, I don't connect with the community as much as I do when I do over there. I'm very, not close, but I'm doing my own thing here, done from over there.
It feels really long.
The days are long. There's
Days
really
are
nothing.
long.
It's a really small town, so there's really nothing there. So it's like just one thing. Either you go out, go to the centro, and that's the only thing. There's only a basketball court, and there's nothing there. It's really like a ghost town when you're there. But it's relaxing. It's really beautiful to be there. So it's just like a sad thing to see when there's nobody there.
I don't know, it's nice. Even though the days might seem long, like I think you have more time to do stuff. Like you can like go down to your house and like come back up and it's still like the middle of the day. Go do something else and you still have so much time ahead of you, but it's like.
I'm not from there. We don't have the same customs. I don't speak the language. I can't communicate, or sometimes I would want to communicate. They're having fun, speaking the language, making jokes, and I'm left out. But that's something that I believe I didn't learn. I didn't learn the Zapotec culture or the language here. I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to learn it, so I can't go ahead and over there and communicate and connect with them as well as I would want to.
it's just a bigger city. You know, it's easy to get lost in a big city, whereas there, even the big city is like 100,000 people tops, maybe in like the big city, which is like not even really close to what Los Angeles is. You know, so at least there you have more sense of identity, whereas here it can easily get lost.
Benejone da mi devicha. Besiere ren selso ya ba. What do you want to say? Just mio. Badiush. Mio. Just grenere das ciao. And I think I'm just thinking.
Tanajapa yukulule Zemzenak çeşanare Legatenu nos razoar Eşenak çejovenak Eşenak çejovenak Eşenak çejovenak